bike at the
Iowa 80.
Iowa 80. It should be like the Iowa 280 because that's about what it costs every time we stop here.
We're lucky.
So we're starting load number 4, right? 4?
Mm-hmm.
So we've been to Abilene, Kansas, Bismarck, North Dakota, St. Cloud, Minnesota, and now we have a load booked going to, what was the name of it? Just south of Fort Worth, Texas. We're on our way out. So after 3 loads, we thought we'd talk about pros and cons of leasing on with Indiana Transport. So I'd say for pro number 1 is their load board. When I was at Horizon, you had to do 30,000 miles, I think, of hauling campers before you got access to the load board. Otherwise, you had to call your dispatcher and book your loads that way. So the load board at Horizon was kind of one of the main reasons I went to Horizon in the first place back then. And then when I went to multi-haul, I went over to Dynamic. Dynamic sent out an email twice a day, which honestly wasn't that big of a deal.
Dynamic is great.
And so I think it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, they sent out an email. It was just an Excel spreadsheet that had all the loads on it. At noon, they'd send the email out again, and it'd just be an updated list. And I don't think a single time I ever called, say like at noon, to get a load, or right before noon, you know, after a couple hours of that load board being out, I don't think I ever called one time and tried booking a load for them to tell me that that one had already been booked. And for a con, I think the biggest con that we ran into
COD.
was COD only on reloads, which was not discussed in orientation or when I was talking to recruiters. So that was kind of a surprise when I came back from North Dakota on that first load.
So COD means cash on delivery.
Or check on delivery.
Or check.
So we lost out on a good paying load right off the bat with Indiana Transport just because the loads are COD. So we have yet to take a reload back to Indiana. I've been hauling her pickup out to Indiana, and she's been getting campers under our own contracts, under our own authority with the pickup. So that's been the downfall. But right now, we before I booked this load to Texas, I did some looking, found some loads down in Texas coming back toward Omaha. So we have what, a little over $3 a mile booked for the way home. So while we're sitting in the Chicago fast-paced traffic, we'll talk about cons too and pros too. So the pros of Indiana Transport is their fuel discounts are actually better than any company we've ever leased to or any company I've ever driven for.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I was gonna say, you gotta shop around a little bit, but I don't think we've ever not found fuel that's pushing $1 off a gallon. Mm-hmm. So that's a big pro. We've saved a lot of money on fuel. And then I'd say our second con, which isn't really a big deal, it's more of just, I don't know,
A hassle.
a hassle. You have to do IFTA every load. It's not, most places just keep track of their miles and fuel and all that.
And you turn it in monthly.
Yeah, monthly. And with Indiana Transport, you have an envelope. So every time you have a new BOL, you have to keep track of the fuel you put in while you're under that BOL number. So that's kind of a joke.
It's a lot of extra work.
Right.
Trying to figure out which one went to which load, and then making a special trip to the office to turn them all in.
Yeah, so at some point you have to go in the office all the time to throw them in the basket. So that's kind of, which, it's not a huge
It's not.
con, but negative, but
The fuel discount
fuel discounts
definitely outweighs the having to do the extra work. It's, like I said, just a hassle.
Yeah. fajitas.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Waffles? We have a waffle maker? Good thing we're at Walmart.
What's that show?
We're at what show?
We're gonna stay up all night till how's it go?
Oh my god, I think you're just embarrassing yourself.
No, we're gonna stay up all night, exchange bro stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles. Oh, it's off of Shrek.
That's Donkey.
It's Shrek.
That's Donkey.
And in the morning, I'm making
It's not
waffles.
Shrek, it's Donkey. The movie's Shrek, but it's Donkey.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Anywho, we're at the Amish Walmart. The infamous Amish Walmart. So, number 3 for the pros and cons. What you can get going about? They have a service wash bay. So you can wash your truck there. They have a pit so you can pull over and change oil.
Which is pretty awesome.
Which is really nice, other than the fact that when we were there, someone totally destroyed it. I don't know if their oil can or whatever they have that you dump oil in. I've never used it, but they got a oil barrel that, you know, you drain your oil into, and it looks like it's got an air hose or whatever that pushes it, regulates, you know, the air pressure and pushes it into a holding tank or something. And it kind of looked like that wasn't connected, and someone just dumped the whole barrel of oil in the pit, so it was pretty nasty.
That's not Indiana Transport.
No, that was just
Whoever did that, shame on you.
yeah, someone making a mess.
You're not getting waffles.
Yeah, they're not getting waffles. So I mean, with Horizon, I mean, I like that they had the driver's lounge. You can shower and stuff there. And that was open 24 hours. You had a keypad to get in it. Dynamic didn't have nothing like that. But Indiana Transport does. The only downfall is with that is it's not like they have bathrooms there, vending machine in there, and then the pit where you can wash your truck, change oil, service your truck. But it doesn't have like showers or anything, and it's only open during office hours. But it's better than nothing. It's, for me, in a sense, it'd be nice in the wintertime. I can pull this in and use the pit to change oil, so I don't have to try and crawl underneath of it and stuff in our shop. But then, so that'd probably be our third pro for Indiana Transport. And then one of our cons is the yards are not open 24 hours. They are, though, open, is it 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
Yes.
So almost all the yards but one is open from 6 in the morning till 10 at night. So that covers pretty much, you know, the vast majority of the day. But there has been a few times we loaded in the middle of the night just because that's how our hours worked.
I mean, for people like us that have an 11-hour, you know,
Yeah.
10-hour drive just to get there.
Yeah, so we were actually planning on getting loaded tonight, but so I guess, what is it, 9 hours and 40 minutes from
Well,
home?
it's 9 hours and 13 minutes from home, but you got Chicago.
Yeah, so yeah,
It's more like 11, 12,
we had what?
3 days.
So we had 17 minutes left on our driving time today because Chicago was so bad. So our plan of getting loaded tonight didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of not a big deal. Like I said, they're still open from 6 to 10, so that is better than just business hours, which we've been dealing with for the last 2 years doing seed corn and seed beans. You can only get loaded during certain hours. A couple warehouses would be open later, but for the most part, you had to hurry up and bust butt because you had pretty much 8 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon, because some places closed at 3, so it's way better than that. So, like I said, that's a con for us, but not a big deal.
We'll make it work. I mean, it's one of those things, you know it, so you plan around it.
Right. So, all right, we'll be back with number 4. All right, con and pro number 4. They have, for the con, unless things have changed in the last 2 years drastically, I don't remember pull-out fees being as high as they are with Indiana Transport. So it's $45 per camper. So when you pull triples, It's a $135 pullout fee. During orientation and talking to my dispatcher before I even took the first load, they said it was not going to be a per camper pullout fee, and it is. So that'd be the con. As for another pro, they get back to you right away. I've had one issue, well actually 3 issues. All 3 loads I've done, I've had problems with payroll, but it's something in the system, so I don't get paid right away, and then I gotta call in like the next day, and they see it, it just never gets pushed or whatever they call it. Calling my dispatcher for any questions, issues, or anything like that. I've never left a voicemail to anyone. Someone's always answered the phone, or if the Verizon outage, you know, last week, whatever, our hotspot was working, so I was just sending emails over the laptop and I'd get a response back within 2-3 minutes. So neither other company I've been with has been that quick, so that's one positive, is they're very quick about anything that I've had questions for, issues with, getting dispatched or anything like that. So that is numbers 4. All right, pro and con, number 5. Con is the government makes you take 30-minute breaks.
Oh, whatever.
So no, we're doing our 30-minute on an off ramp because we're on 69 heading south and there's nowhere to stop.
There's not.
So
we're 7 minutes short of making it to the truck stop.
Yeah. So yeah, con number 5 and pro number 5. Pro number 5 is they have they compensate you basically for running ELD. So I get 4 cents a mile bonus for having the ELD for every loaded mile under dispatch. I think Dynamic, I believe Horizon, I never had ELDs through Horizon, but I know at Dynamic we got charged
$25.
20 something, yeah, like 20 bucks a month or something like that. But then if we did the front and rear facing camera, then they would pay for it. But otherwise, yeah, we didn't get no bonus for using it or nothing like that. So so that's kind of a bonus. We don't have to pay for it, and we actually get 4 cents a mile for it. The con is every load that I've seen so far, not saying that it doesn't ever change, but every load that I've seen so far has been triples, and the rates for all the triples are pretty comparable to the other company's doubles. So the ELD bonus does kind of make up for it, but doesn't make up all of it. But we kind of knew Indiana Transport was kind of known, I guess, I don't know, is what I've been told, true or false, I don't know, but they were always a little bit lower on the pay scale, but we kind of figured too, with the reloads being 5% more, would make up for that, and then the bonus with the ELD. So I mean, it's probably pretty close if you can keep your reloads going, which we've been struggling with. So that is our pros and cons, 5 of each, that we've kind of seen so far with Indiana Transport. Like we said before, we're not going to sit here and company hop and whatnot. So if we do switch companies again, it's not going to be probably anytime soon.
Overall, we're pretty happy here.
I was going to say, the main thing is you get to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And, you know, you don't have to call in for getting dispatched or asking where the loads go, because you know they're going to tell you where they want you to go, so it's going to be somewhat forced without being forced dispatch, where this is probably still kind of the same way, but at least you got 50, 60, 70 options on the load board to pick from. But yeah, I don't know, we like it so far. I kind of like the doubles, actually. These triples, tucking them underneath each other took a lot more time than I was anticipating. I always did doubles at Dynamic. I never really did do the triples. Now I'm kind of forced to.
It's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
It's both of us loading.
Yeah, we can do 3 campers in 50 minutes together. This one not so much, just because we couldn't find it.
Yeah, that was an error on us. We walked by them 3 times.
I don't know. Yeah.
We honestly, we got to the point where we walked up and down 2 rows to see if they were even full because we're like, they are not here. Well, guess what? They were. So we looked for an hour.
We spent more time looking for the stupid things than we did loading them.
And we walked by them like in the first 10 minutes of being there. We looked for an hour. Oh, you know.
At least we're not in a hurry.
Yeah, no, we're not. We don't care. We just laugh about it.
But our 30 minutes is about up, and we're gonna get back on the road, so we'll see you guys in the next one. And Pro number 5. So for the pros, what was our thing?
You forgot what it is,
I
didn't
forgot what
you?
our thing was. Which ones have we covered? So we had it written down.
We did have it wrote down.
We just looked at it to make sure we weren't going to do a double.
So the pro is he gets paid bonus for having LED or LED or lights. ELD. I know what I'm talking about. And the con.
The LEDs.
What's the con, honey?